Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and today I'm doing a book unhaul. I am doing some spring cleaning and getting rid of 30 books. Yep. So since there are 30 books, I am not going to go through super long synopses. Some of them I don't even know what they're about. They just came in some like book subscriptions and I really have no desire to read them. Some of them are going to be pretty surprising because they are pretty popular books, and for anyone who's interested, I do donate the books that I don't want anymore so they can go to a nice happy home. Will appreciate them. These books just aren't bringing me joy anymore sitting on my bookshelves. So let's get started. So the first book I'm getting rid of is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I loved his book, The Silent Patient. This was a book of the month pick, and then I read a lot of not so good reviews on it. I think it's a murder mystery that takes place at a college, but not so good reviews, not a lot of good twists, and I did start, I remember getting like, gosh, I can't talk, an arc of the first couple of chapters, and I wasn't really getting into it. So unfortunately, I am gonna get rid of this book. The next book I'm getting rid of is Lore by, Alexandra Bracken. I don't even know what this is about. I think it's like Greek mythology. Yeah, Zeus is in it. And it's really pretty. It came, with the edges, it came, and I used to subscribe to like Owlcrate and what's the other one? I can't think of the other one. The really big like book subscriptions where you get all these little trinkets and stuff in it from books, and after like a few months of getting books that I had no interest in reading, it was time to stop the subscriptions, and this was one of them. So I don't know what this is about. It's just Greek mythology, but I'm not interested, so it's gotta go. Next book, another book of the month, 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This supposedly is about COVID. I think it's a murder mystery, and I was, all excited to read a murder mystery about COVID, and then after, gosh, I think it's been a year sitting on my bookshelf and not so good reviews that I read, I now have no desire to read this book, so this has got to go too. The next book is He Started It by Samantha Downing. Initially, there was a whole lot of wonderful reviews about this, so I was quick to pick it up, and then I read a lot of reviews that I didn't really like. Unfortunately, this just doesn't spark my interest anymore. It's about a bunch of family members on I think a road trip to go to their grandfather's funeral, I believe, and there's like a dead body in the trunk or something. I don't know. I don't remember, but yeah, I have no desire to read this. It's just been sitting up on my bookshelf taking space, so I'm going to find it a nice, happy home. Another book of the month, The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I just don't have any desire to read this. It sounded super interesting. It's about a woman who kind of helps other women by creating, I guess, potions and things for them to pretty much get rid of men in their lives that they don't like anymore. I don't know. And I just lost all interest in wanting to read this book. And yeah, getting rid of it. Next book, I have actually read this book. This is The Collective by Allison Galen. I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's a thriller book about a woman who loses her daughter, and the killer is pretty much got away free. Didn't get any time for it, young man in college, and she's super frustrated and finds this like dark web group of other women who are seeking revenge on people that have killed their family members, and it goes from there. And again, I did enjoy it, but I am never going to read this book again. The main character kind of got on my nerves. So yeah, I do recommend this book, but I don't plan to read it, so this is going to go to a good home. I don't plan to read it again, sorry, but it's going to go to a good home. This book, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So many mixed reviews about this. This also came in one of those book subscriptions. Fairy Loot, it just came to me. That's the other book subscription I used to subscribe to. But yeah, this is pretty edition, but I know this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling with like a monster in it or something, but I have no desire to read this. And this, like I said, came in a book subscription, and I know this has lots of mixed reviews, and yeah, I'm not really into Romeo and Juliet retellings, so this has got to go too. Another subscription book that came in one of those boxes, This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. I literally have no idea what this is about. I just remember checking out reviews and they weren't good. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't sound, the synopsis just didn't even sound interesting to me. So this one will go to a good home as well. It's a very pretty edition, so someone will be very happy. So next book is The Roommate by Rosie Dannon. I did read this book. I enjoyed it. It's a romance book, like rom-com, about a girl who I think she was going to stay with one of her really close friends that she did have a crush on, was hoping he would be there, and he ended up leaving her there with his roommate, who is a porn star, and their relationship kind of unfolds from there. It was very funny, has a lot of like behind the scenes like drama in the adult film world industry. So it was really good, but I'm honestly never going to read this book again. So this will go to someone who is interested in checking this out. The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've talked about this quite a few times on my channel. I did read it. I didn't love it. It was kind of boring to me. Not really interested in the weird love triangle that was happening in this. This is a young adult like mystery book. The main character, I think she lost her mother, living with her sister, finds out this billionaire has passed away and basically given all of his money to her, except she has to come live in his home with his family, and craziness ensues, and there's clues that they have to follow to try to figure out why she was chosen. And I think this is like a trilogy, but again, I'm not interested in reading this story anymore. It just didn't spark any joy. So this one is pretty popular, so I want to have a tab in it, so someone will definitely love checking this book out, but I'm not interested in continuing on with this series. So this one, I literally don't even remember why I bought this. I think I was walking through Barnes & Noble during like the spooky season, Halloween, and it just looked really cute. I think it might have been on that TikTok BookTok table. Pretty sure it was, but this is A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. I think this is middle grade, maybe? It's about a 14-year-old Mona who isn't like the wizards charged with defending the city. And I did start reading this. There is a body found in her bakery, and they have to try to solve the murder, I guess. And I just really didn't like the writing style when I started it, so I'm not gonna finish this book. Someone else will love this, I'm sure, but off it goes. This is a book, Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins, that I picked up at Target. The premise sounded really good. It's about this girl who goes on a work trip and her luggage gets mixed up with someone else's, and she looks into it, and all of the items in the luggage could belong to a potential love interest of hers. Like everything in there she's intrigued by, and so she's really interested in finding out who the owner of this luggage is. I did also start reading this book. I think I've talked about it in one of my other videos, and I decided to DNF it. I just wasn't really interested. Didn't really care about the main character at all. This is getting donated as well. Next book is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I did read this. I thought it was really, really cute. I don't know, what is this even considered? I guess romance, maybe? But I just know Eleanor's super awkward. I can't remember if she was on the autism spectrum or not, but she has like social anxiety. She's really funny. I don't know, it was cute. I do remember it being really cute. I think I gave it 4 stars, so I think someone's really gonna enjoy this book, and I'm going to pass it on. The next book is called Are You Sleeping by Kathleen Barber. I believe this was a murder mystery or thriller book. I did read it. I honestly have no idea. I do not remember what this book is about at all. I did enjoy it. I think it was part of a book club that I was in at one point. But I mean, the fact that I can't remember one thing about it, even reading the synopsis, I cannot remember. I can't remember this book, so clearly it didn't leave an impression on me, so I am going to be unhauling this one as well. Next book is Tessa Bailey, and this is Tools of Engagement. I did read the first book in this series. I think it was called Fix Her Up, And I think this one is about her sister. Yeah, I think this one is about her sister. I started reading this. Tessa Bailey has become really hit or miss with me, and I'm definitely not going to be auto buying her books anymore. I think I'm probably just going to borrow them from the library because I didn't really like this book that much. I DNF'd it. I just remember I just wasn't really invested in the characters. I did like the first one. I think it was Fixer Up. I think the main character was like a baseball star, and the girl, I think it was a fake dating situation in that first book. And I thought it was funny. It was steamy. It was cute. This one, not so much. I didn't really enjoy the parts that I read. So off this goes too. The next two are Well Met and Well Played by Jen DeLuca. I did read Well Met. I love the Renaissance Festival, and this takes place in that setting. The characters in this play or work at the Renaissance Festival, and I really enjoyed the first book. The second one, I just automatically went and bought it, and then the reviews were horrible. I think there's a third book in this series too, where it just plummeted, and it had to do with catfishing, which I have absolutely no desire to read about. So, and I don't plan on rereading this either. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't amazing. So, these two got to go to Tessa Bailey too. Hook, Line, and Sinker just came out, and I did not enjoy it. I DNF'd it. I just wasn't buying into the friends to lovers romance in this book. And then another romance is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. Now, I did love this book. I'm never going to read it again. It was super cute. I love the representation in this. Chloe, plus size, she has chronic pain issues. There's interracial dating in it. I love all the things British humor. It was so cute. Steam, this was so good. I love this book, but I know I'm not going to read it again. I didn't love it that much. I think I did give it 5 stars, but I just have no desire to reread it. Someone will definitely be super happy when they see this. At wherever I donate this to, so this will definitely find a good home, I'm sure. And I do recommend this book if you like rom-com and steam. Talia Hibbert is phenomenal writing those. So the last few books are probably gonna, I don't want to say be controversial, because these are just book unhauls. I mean, I'm not like, this isn't like, you know, some like, who cares at the end of the day, basically. But I'm sad that I'm getting rid of these, because these are fantasy books that I that I really thought I was gonna love, and not so much. So the Grisha verse by Leigh Bardugo, who I do love as a writer. I've read Shadow and Bone. I did not love it. I thought it was boring, and I just have no desire to continue reading this series. I am going to try Six of Crows. I think it's a duology. I am going to try this. If I read that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to go back and read this trilogy, I will get it from the library, because I know for a fact I did not like the first book. So this is going, and someone will be so happy to get the full collection of this series. These next two, Sarah J. Maas. What is this? House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath. This one I loved. I have a reading blog for both of these. This is adult fantasy, Sarah J. Maas's first adult fantasy series. This was great. It has all kinds of paranormal creatures in it, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I think this is entirely too long. I do not think that these books need to be this long, but I'm never going to read this book again. I enjoyed it, but not that much. And then this one I absolutely hated, and I have no desire to continue with the series, and I can't wait to get this out of my house. So I am giving these away, and someone I'm sure will absolutely enjoy these, but I hated it. This is another book that is entirely too long and all over the place, and plot lines that just didn't need to be there, and I'm not even going to go into detail, but if you want to hear me rant about this book, check out my vlog. But yeah, this is going. And then another series, why am I showing it like this? The next series is the Witcher series. I have 3 of the books, so I think this is the short story collection, Blood of Elves, I don't remember. Blood of Elves, Sword of Destiny, and The Last Wish. Whichever, oh, it's this one. This one is the short stories, I believe. I was super excited to read these books. There's like a video game and a show, and it seemed to have all of the elements of a fantasy series that I would love. I mean, look at this cover. It's like a giant dragon. But there was something about the writing that I could not get into. I just couldn't. I think I'm like halfway through this one, and I put it down, and I realized every time I looked at these books on my shelf, I'm like, I'm never going to read those. I can't deal with the writing style. So unfortunately, these have got to go too. I'm sad because it's a very popular fantasy series, but I just don't care. So these are going. And the last, I can't even pick these up. The last series that I kind of went back and forth on multiple times, trying to figure out if I was really going to get rid of them or not. But the sad answer is yes, I am. And I am sorry, Daniel Green, even though I know he will never watch this. But this is his favorite series, and it is The Wheel of Time. And I absolutely love these paperback, these paperback like floppy covers and the artwork on it, but I just didn't like what was inside of it. I was bored out of my mind. I know that some of these are hit or miss according to all of the reviews, but I just couldn't even get through the first book. And I tried the audiobook, and I tried to read it, and I tried to come back to it multiple times, and I can't do it. So I'm just going to stick with the series, which I'm going to go ahead and watch now that I've decided that I'm not going to read the books. And you know what? If it sparks some kind of interest in me and I do want to read them, then I will check them out at the library, because I'm pretty sure that there's no way in the world that I want to have this full series on my bookshelves. I think there's like, I don't know, 10 to 14 books. I don't know, but which most of them apparently are super boring. So I just couldn't get into Robert Jordan's writing. I'm sorry. I know that makes me a horrible fantasy reader. I know, but I'm sorry. It's just too many other books to read, and they're taking up space on my bookshelf, and I've got too many other books that I want to, when I look at my shelf, I'm just going to ramble. When I look at my shelf and I see Jade City and Evan Winters and all of these John Gwynne and James A., all this brings me joy, because I've read them, some of them. I know these authors. I love their writing, and that's what I want to feel when I look at my bookshelf. And all of these have been sitting on my bookshelf for months, some of them years, and I just would get frustrated looking at them. So someone will be super happy when they walk into the bookstore that I donate these to and are able to choose some of these books. I hope that it brings them joy. And that is all that I have today. I love watching book hauls. It's kind of depressing and sad though, watching people get rid of their books, but it happens. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you as always for stopping by. Hopefully that wasn't too long. I tried to make it quick. But if this is your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you've been with me for a while, please hit that like button, and I will see you guys soon. See ya.